cruelty of the human being in front of his brother or sister or parents or children. Can we imagine it? And I am afraid that whatever we're saying today, we said it in the past. All the people, all the nations, all the ambassadors, all the countries, they were present at the genocide moments. They wrote, they pictured, they did everything possible to stop, but nobody moved anything to stop it.
Armenia, known as the first Christian country, adopted the faith in the year 301 and has remained Christian ever since.
The whole Armenians.
The Armenian Catholic Patriarch Raphaël Bedros the 21st Minassian is the head of the Catholic minority. There's a good relationship between the Christians and other religions in the country, a bond forged through suffering. Over the centuries, the Armenian people have faced many hardships. At the start of the 20th century, the Turkish state massacred hundreds of thousands of Armenians. Up to 1.5 million people died in the years 1915 to 1916, as the Ottoman Empire was disintegrating after the end of World War I. Many of the victims were civilians deported to barren desert regions, where they were marched to death or left to die of starvation and thirst.
Quella tragedia, quel genocidio.
Sadly, that tragedy, that genocide, was the first of the deplorable series of catastrophes of the past century, made possible by twisted racial, ideological, or religious aims that darkened the minds of the tormentors, even to the point of planning the annihilation of entire peoples.
Di prefigere l'intento di annientare interi popoli.
Not all have accepted the reality of this brutal genocide that primarily targeted Christians. Pope Francis's statement on his papal trip to Armenia meant that the Vatican's envoy to Turkey was recalled. Today, international observers are warning again of genocide. Since the 12th of December 2022, Azerbaijan has blocked the Lakin Corridor, a mountain road which links the isolated mountain region of Nagorno-Karabakh to Armenia. The conflict between the majority Christian Armenia and the majority Muslim Azerbaijan dates back to the early 20th century, with the present conflict rooted in the late 1980s. Fighting is focused on the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh territory, which, though located within Azerbaijan, is populated by ethnic Armenians. Around 120,000 Armenians live in the enclave. The road closure has isolated them from the world. They have no food, medicine, or basic necessities. Families are separated.
Azerbaijan's 8-month-long blockade of the Lakin Corridor, the road of life connecting Nagorno-Karabakh with Armenia, continues. Today, 120,000 people living in Nagorno-Karabakh are deprived of exercising their fundamental human rights due to the absence of fuel and the targeting of villagers by Azerbaijan. Agricultural lands remain uncultivated. So 30,000 children are struggling from malnutrition.
The Holy See is actively involved in resolving this situation before more atrocities happen. Pope Francis said he was concerned about the situation created in the Lakin Corridor. For that reason, the Secretary of State, Cardinal Pietro Parolin, visited Armenia and Azerbaijan in July of 2023. In late 2020, the Second Nagorno-Karabakh War erupted, resulting in thousands of casualties. Eventually, a loose ceasefire was established, but the terror and violence for the civilians continued. Aid to the Church in Need is one of the church institutions which continue to help and push for humanitarian aid in the war-torn region.
Nowadays, the situation in Armenia is very difficult because of the war, prolonged war, more than 30 years with Azerbaijan. The corridor that is linking the Nagorno-Karabakh region inhabited by Armenian Christian population and the rest of the country has been cut off by Azeri troops. And now the population needs basic elements to survive.
Cardinal Parolin's visit to Armenia and Azerbaijan is a further advancement of the Holy See's push to promote peace among the warring nations, and it's high time for the international community to act. Patriarch Raphaël Minassian found strong words, saying that the Armenian people do not need our sympathy, they need peace.
It's like something very dangerous that reminds us the past. And the past is not past already, because 100 years passed, and I am the first generation after the genocide, which is its suffering. And imagine that we're repeating the same history to the new generation, to our actual, the 21st, 22nd century. We're going for a genocide. After all the crimes that happened in the world, my question is, what the human being waiting to have?